Everyone thinks they understand Makima's plan in Chainsaw Man. Control the Chainsaw Devil. Eliminate the concepts that cause human suffering. Create a perfect world. Simple, right? Misguided but understandable? Wrong. Today we're diving into what Makima was actually planning. The real endgame that she hid from everyone, including Denji, including us, and maybe even including herself. Because when you analyze her actions instead of her words, when you look at what she actually accomplished versus what she claimed to want, a far more terrifying picture emerges. One that makes her not just a villain, but possibly the most dangerous entity in any manga ever created. Let's start with the obvious lie. Makima never wanted to eliminate human suffering. She wanted to eliminate human choice. Think about every devil she controlled. Were they happy? Peaceful? Free from suffering? They were empty, hollow, puppets acting out a script they couldn't deviate from. That's not salvation. That's obliteration with extra steps. But here's what's really twisted. Makima didn't want to control devils to help humans. She wanted to control humans by turning them into devils. Every person she saved became something less than what they were. Aki became the gun devil. Her various pawns became willing slaves. Even her supposed love for Denji was just training him to give up his agency voluntarily. She wasn't building a world without suffering. She was building a world where suffering was impossible because free will was impossible. But that's still not her real plan. Her real plan was to become the concept of control itself, not just control devils, not just control humans. Control reality, control existence, control the very laws that govern what is and isn't possible. Remember how devils work. They become stronger based on how much humans fear their concept. The more people fear death, the stronger the death devil becomes. But what happens when a devil becomes so powerful that their concept becomes fundamental to reality itself? Makima was attempting to make control so prevalent, so inescapable, so woven into the fabric of existence that reality itself would have no choice but to obey her. Every devil she controlled made the concept of control more powerful. Every human who submitted to her will made control more fundamental to human experience. Every moment someone chose to obey rather than resist made her concept stronger. She wasn't trying to rule the world. She was trying to become the world. Think about the final battle. Denji didn't defeat her through power or strategy. He defeated her by doing something that couldn't be controlled, acting out of love instead of logic. That wasn't just character development. That was literally the only thing in existence that could counter her plan. Because love, real, unconditional, irrational love, is the one human experience that can't be controlled, can't be predicted, and can't be replicated. Makima spent the entire series trying to understand love, trying to control it, trying to make Denji love her the way she wanted to be loved. She failed because she was approaching love like it was another devil to be conquered, another concept to be controlled. But love isn't a devil. It's not born from fear. It's born from choice. And choice is the one thing that true control makes impossible. Here's the really horrifying part. Makima almost succeeded. By the end of the series, how many characters were making their own choices? How many were acting based on their own desires rather than their programming? Denji was probably the only truly free character left. Everyone else was either dead, controlled, or so traumatized that they were barely functioning. Makima had successfully eliminated free will from almost everyone in her vicinity. If Denji hadn't found a way to love her, not control her, not defeat her, but actually love her, she would have continued spreading until choice itself became extinct. But here's what makes this even more terrifying. She succeeded anyway. Look at what replaced her. Nayuta, a control devil who starts as a child, ready to be shaped and molded. Makima didn't fail. She just changed tactics. Instead of imposing control through fear and manipulation, she's now learning to impose it through love and guidance. Denji thinks he's raising her, teaching her, showing her a better way to use her power. But what if he's actually just training the next version of Makima, one who understands love, who can use it as a tool, who can make control feel like care? That's the real plan. Not to win through force, but to win through evolution. Makima version 1 tried to control through fear and broke against love. Makima version 2 is learning to control through love itself. The satisfying part? Denji is willingly helping her do it, because that's what love does. It makes you want to give someone everything they want, even when what they want is everything you have. Makima's real plan wasn't to control the world in one generation. It was to create a cycle where each version of herself learns from the failures of the previous version, becoming more subtle, more effective, more impossible to resist. Eventually, there will be a version of the control devil who has mastered every human emotion, every psychological weakness, every possible form of resistance. And when that version emerges, there won't be a Denji to stop her, because she'll have learned how to make people want to be controlled. That's not just conquering the world. That's conquering the very concept of conquest itself. Makima didn't lose. She just planted the seeds for a victory so complete that her enemies will water them willingly.